Well, fellow Nigerians, greetings to you all from wherever you are joining me from. This is the Comrade Show, and my name is Comrade Lamte Mamosa Oriahi. I want to quickly use this medium first and foremost to appeal to everybody. If you're joining this broadcast, help share this broadcast. It's very important. I came out this evening to, to make this broadcast, because I am very angry, and the reasons why I'm angry, I want to share with us. As we approach Nigeria's Independence Day on October 1st, we must approach it with a very clear focus. And I believe very strongly that, this is an Independence Day that we must approach with sober reflections, particularly looking at the way the established political parties are taking Nigerians for granted. The way, the polity of this nation is being driven. And I believe very strongly if we're able to approach the process with anger, very controlled anger, we can then understand the reason why we have to be firm on our decision. The decision to ensure that the narrative is changed, because what we are seeing in the political landscape is honestly very annoying, particularly when you are not stupid. You just see politicians do things that it reflects stupidity in you. They just dish out what they cook, believing that every Nigerian is stupid. It is happening right in the heart of PDP. It is happening right in the heart of APC. But I'm going to start with APC. Today was very symbolic. It's become a tradition in our political cycle that at some point, when we are having major elections like this, the candidates, are brought together with critical stakeholders represented to come and sign an accord agreement, a peace accord, to say no matter the outcome, these candidates will not instigate their followers, against each other, because at the end of the day, we're all Nigerians. So it's a ritual, so to speak. And expectedly, you expect the head of, each ticket to be present at that level. It is not a matter by proxy. Nigerians majorly want to see the person they are voting for, the person who's going to be their commander-in-chief, very importantly. And that's what this process is about. We are talking about Labour Party, for instance. The major focal point is Peter Gregory Obi. He's the head of the ticket. He's the person who is going to take responsibility, for whatever, happens under his administration if he is elected president of Nigeria. He is the person that Nigerians are looking at most especially because constitutionally, a vice president is to act in the absence of Mr. President or to act on other things that he's assigned to do, which means that the critical person that Nigerians are focusing on are the major candidates, themselves. But on this occasion, something, I don't know if this has happened before. For some days right now, somebody like, I'm starting with APC right now. The head of the ticket, talking of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been conspicuously missing. He's not, as a matter of fact, since this process started, he has not really granted any detailed interview. We had information some time ago that he's been invited by Chinese television and Rise Television, and he did not attend any of those interviews. And this is an election where we want to hear from the people who have, said that, they want to govern Nigeria. In this case, we want to hear from Tinubu. We have not really heard anything from Tinubu. All we've been hearing is people talking on his behalf, and all of that. And the people talking on his behalf, some of the things they dish out, they make Nigerians, look stupid. And when some of us understand that we are not stupid, it becomes very annoying, honestly. Very, very annoying. Now, today, they had this peace accord. All of the other political parties had their candidates present. The person who was not present was Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Look, I want to discuss this matter as dispassionately as possible. And I want everybody, even those who are supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to reason with what we are talking about right now. Now, nobody has been elected yet. This is a presidential hopeful en route to the elections. Bola Ahmed Tinubu may eventually become the winner of the election, become the president of Nigeria. Now, what we are seeing is that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is conspicuously absent from major events where his presence is required. A man who's aspiring to be commander-in-chief. Now, when people argue in some circles to say that APC is trying to return power to the South, with Bola Ahmed Tinubu being their candidate, we can see obviously that there's a ploy. There is a dangerous arrangement here to leave power in the hands of the Fulanis. Because so far, so good, the person who's been prosecuting the APC campaign has been Shettima, the running mate. And Shettima is not the man that the mandate to represent APC has been given to. And so it becomes very annoying that Shettima is the one seen representing the APC, when it comes to critical issues like this. Look at the major candidates seated. You have, what's it called, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar right there seated. You have, Peter Obi right there seated representing the Labour Party. You expect to see the APC candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu seated, but he's not there. He's missing. Now the question is, where's APC candidates? All other candidates are there, even of political parties that Nigerians don't even know. Everybody is there. The only person who is the head of his ticket, who is not there, is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is something that Nigerians cannot take lightly. This is annoying. Now, the reason why it is annoying, it's because of what we have been talking about, over and over and over again. The reason why Nigerians must shun these establishments. Because right now, they will paint it right. You understand of what I'm saying now? They will paint it right. They will paint it normal. It's not normal. What we are seeing right now is a microcosm of what we are going to see if Bola Ahmed Tinubu will become president of Nigeria. What we are seeing right now is that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu become president of Nigeria, Nigeria is going to be ruled by proxy. And that's exactly what we are seeing right now. The person that Nigerians are electing, if his APC wins, it will be Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Right now, en route to the elections, campaign just started yesterday. Okay, we are already seeing the incapacity, the lack of capacity for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to become commander-in-chief of the Nigerian state. And so this, that for the entire system, political landscape to accommodate this is in itself very annoying. It's a slap right on in the heart of Nigerians. And look, our annoyance must be expressed, you know, in the loudest form, and that is outright rejection of this, you know, wicked conspiracy against the Nigerian people. Look at Shettima. Shettima is the man right now acting on behalf of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Shettima is the man who has actually been granting interviews. Is the one we've seen around. And Nigerians need to question this kind of arrangement, because this arrangement does not bode well for the Nigerian people. This arrangement is unhealthy. This arrangement is evil. This arrangement is, I mean, in my local parlance from Edo State, we call it a coup case, a conspiracy against the Nigerian people. It means that the people who gave APC, you know, who voted to give Bola Ahmed Tinubu the ticket to represent APC as the major candidate of this election, you know, they had an ulterior motive. And that motive is their understanding that Bola Ahmed Tinubu may not actually have the capacity. And if that becomes the case and becomes evident and becomes proven, and it becomes a matter that become, you know, realistic, that we can see as we are seeing right now, apparently, this election is about voting Shettima as president of Nigeria. And Nigerians must reject this in its entirety. And this should serve as a lesson. All the while, our case, our argument has been that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I mean, you cannot cheat nature. You are old. Let's forget about all the other antics about you changing age, doing this, doing that, and all of those other, you know, arguments. You cannot become president of Nigeria through the back door. You cannot become president of Nigeria by proxy, and that's what these guys want to do. And each time they make attempts, you know, at doing this at any level, for every Nigerian who's same-minded, you should be angry. You should be upset. And your anger should lead to a decision that must be outright rejection of the APC in its entirety. At least where you expect a major candidate to make a critical judgment, of being present where you are supposed to be present. Because when you become the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Nigerian state, some of these things are too important to even send a vice president to go and represent you. The person Nigerians want to vote for those who want to support, you know, the APC ticket, they want to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are not voting because of Shettima. They want to vote for Peter Obi. They are not voting because of his running mate. Majority of the people want to vote because of former Vice President Atiku. Those who want to vote for him. People are not coming out. People are not mobilizing because of their running mates. Nobody's doing that. The people under discourse, as far as this person is concerned, they are the people who are the heads of the tickets, the various tickets. So if Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I mean, Nigerians, apparently, the powers that be, you know, they want to make it look normal. But we as Nigerians, as the electorates, there is no way we can normalize this process. We must express our anger. We must show our anger. Now, I'm going to show you another picture, you know, one that I cannot independently verify. But, you know, my people say that when lie resembles truth, you know, somehow you tend to want to believe. And we have always made the case that, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, look, this broadcast is not to it's not to make jest of him, to be very honest, because people who are 80-year-olds going to their 90s and every other thing, we see lots of them around and all of that. Many of them are in care homes, many of them are in their communities being taken care of and all of that. I mean, it's the call of nature. When you get old, certain things come. You become ill, because your immune system is no longer as strong as it used to be. It's a natural thing. And it's a privilege to be old. What becomes a problem is when you want to, force or cheat that nature, force yourself to do what ordinarily you should not have business with doing. That becomes a problem. Now you no longer just ridicule yourself, you ridicule the nation. And that's what Bola Ahmed Tinubu appears to be doing right now. And that's what, as these guys were holding the peace accord today and signing all the papers and every other thing, these images emerged. And some of us are very worried. Okay, that is an image that emerged today saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in London, apparently attending to his health and every other thing. And people began to point to things like this. You could see that red marking there. That's a sign of somebody who cannot control his power. Somebody who's, in our local palace will say the peace of body small and all of that, and which is not a crime. But when old age don't reach certain stage, some of these things you can no longer control them. You understand what I'm saying now? I see another image that all this I'm showing right now, there are things I picked up from the what's it called, the internet. We cannot independently verify these things, but they show. But we just want to talk about them. Science of say, okay, if I say, peace they escape small. This will not be this thing, but this is happen. This is when somebody becomes old. You understand what I'm saying now? Some of this are bound to happen. You understand? But what is not heard of, what should not be, is when people like this begin to force themselves on a nation. The job of a president is too critical, it's too important. It's not a child's play. It's not one that people should play games with. It's not the kind of job that people should just, hoodwink everybody with. So it becomes very sad. Honestly, very sad. It's unbecoming that we still have people who are trooping and say Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and yet Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when the critical judgment needs to be made, is conspicuously absent. Nigerians cannot even squeeze him, ask him how he's going to govern this country. The only few things that have come out from him, some of them were mumbled. People could not even understand what he's talking about, out of key, out of point, not related to the subject matter. And so it calls to question all these people, consciously or unconsciously, who are because there are two groups of people I believe supporting, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those who know deliberately that this man is not fit, but they want to force him on Nigerians. These people, as far as I'm concerned, they are enemies of this nation because they know that there are those who actually, may not be able to tell his capacity. They just have love for him. Now, we may forgive some of those people, but they should already see the trajectory of this process. And for those people, I want to appeal to you. The earlier, the better. Love Bola Ahmed Tinubu, no problem, but you must love Nigeria more. And if you are somebody who loves Nigeria more, you should want the best for Nigeria at every given point in time. That you want the best for Nigeria does not, reduce your love for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The truth has to be told. Someone like Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to stay in his house. Doesn't need to be on this field at all. He hasn't got the capacity to be on this field. Now he's a subject of ridicule. The images flying around the internet. It's shameful. And when somebody like this is supposed to become probably a president, a potential president of this country, is a subject of ridicule, the people that are being ridiculed the most are Nigerians. Because if Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes president, as they have tried to force him on all of us, and we are seeing all of these kind of things happen all around, You go UN meeting. Suppose these things are true. You go peace for body. Who will be ashamed? Now me when be say man, he did with my own when some other nationals will be say they work with, we're going to tell me say, oh, but now wow, CNN has just cover the story, say una president peace for body for United Nations meeting. That's a dangerous trend. That's a dangerous trend. That is something that we cannot afford. We cannot allow. And for all of you that are pumping support, I beg. Some people, there are those others who are supporting him because they are benefiting from the process. They are looking at their own personal interests. They are putting their personal interest before the nation. Now, this group of people, they are very dangerous people. They don't love this country. They don't want the best for this country. As far as they are concerned, as a matter of fact, they don't care about this country. We must know those people, count them, number them, label them, and of course, act accordingly when the time is right. But for now, my people, Nigerians, please share this broadcast. It's very important. I don't want to do small this thing today. We need to talk to ourselves, and call a spade, not just a working implement. This is not the truth. I don't have anything personally against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I don't. The only case I've always made is that this man is old. This man has shown signs of being unwell. This man is always running abroad for medical checkup, for medical treatment. This man is not fit to hold this position of president. He's a candidate of a major political party. He has a bright chance of becoming the president of Nigeria, except we all decide that he cannot be. Because when Nigerians are going to vote, people who are going to vote for APC are going to vote for APC. They are going to vote because of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But invariably, what we are seeing is that people go to the polls, unknown to them, that they are going to the polls to go and vote for Shettima to become president of Nigeria. We must not allow that. That should not happen. That should not happen. That is for APC. On a last note, I must honestly give credit and kudos to what's his name, this man, Showore. Showore, a video equally surfaced. Showore did challenge why Shettima should be in that environment. That Shettima has no business being in that environment, and I think that was very nice. You understand what I'm saying? And that environment was for the major candidates, not for their running mates. You understand what I'm saying? Showore, claimed to have, a reason to that occasion to challenge Shettima why he should be there when when his boss is not around. Let's take a listen. I want to give kudos to Showore for that. I think that's a beautiful.
That doesn't mean that I will not keep saying, pushing my position. It's the same position I have with the people sitting in front. I confronted him. Why is he sitting here when Tinubu is not here? You understand? If I was sitting there, I would not stand up for him. Because Tinubu is the one who's supposed to be here. You can't be running Nigeria for presidency in absentia. You and Abacha. That's my position.
You know the way I was yesterday?
Well, that doesn't mean that I will not keep saying, pushing my position. It's the same position I have with the people sitting in front. I confronted him. Why is he sitting here when Tinubu is not here? You understand? If I was sitting there, I would not stand up for him. Because Tinubu is the one who's supposed to be here. You can't be running Nigeria for presidency in absentia. You and Abacha. That's my position.
You know the way I was yesterday?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Between realism and truth are two different worlds.
No, I'm part of the truth.
I stood by what I stood for yesterday and tomorrow.
It's the same thing I stood for because I was a student union leader when you guys were rampaging the country.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Leadership.
Very good.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Anyway, I salute the doggedness of Showore for challenging that. You understand the picture of what I'm saying? And yet, lots of others have a similar thing in mind. Lots of others are probably afraid to speak to it and all that. But we cannot be quiet. You understand the picture of what I'm saying? This is Nigeria. We have suffered too much in this country. And this is why, we must, speak out on these issues. Because these issues, they challenge the very essence of this country, and they ridicule this process. Nigeria cannot afford to allow this kind of nonsense, to persist. And I appeal. You understand what I'm saying? Now, APC should have no place in this election. Now, let's move on to PDP. I don't know where to start from, but I'm going to start from somewhere. Earlier today, some letters began to surface from some PDP stalwarts, members of their National Working Committee and National Executive Council, as the case may be, returning multi-millions of naira that had gone into the account. Let me establish something first. A few days ago, the PDP hierarchy, the National Executive Council, the national tabloid, I think The Nation was one of them, raised an alarm of high-scale corruption running into about 15 billion, within the ranks of the National Working Committee and the National Executive Council of the PDP. I don't know how they are, addressed exactly. Raised an alarm that in the primaries of the PDP, there was so much corruption taking place with, the monies that people used to, register to contest presidency and every heavy, corruption and every other thing. And that members of the National Working Committee, they were bribed, to keep quiet. We're talking about billions of naira. I'm explaining this thing because I'm trying to explain how these people are taking Nigerians for granted. Because all these things, when I explain you don't hear them elsewhere. You can only hear them in places like Nigeria, backward nations like Nigeria. You don't hear these things in countries where people are serious about development, where people want to put the nation first, where people want their nation to succeed. Very small corruption matters in some countries in this world leads to execution according to their laws. They will just kill the person. In some countries of this world. Now, the newspaper raised the alarm. Of course, we cannot, I have not made any program concerning, the rant of somebody like Wiki and all that has been happening over Ayu, the national chairman of PDP, and how Wiki is calling for his resignation. And of course, how some members of the campaign council of, Atiku Abubakar has, including Wiki, pulled out from that committee, and of all the tension that has been brewing. This is not unconnected with it. And so, but the issue was that the tabloid raised an alarm over billions that had been stolen, billions embroiled in corruption and corruption practices. Today, some letters began to emerge. Some letters began to surface. This one is from Professor Stella Ifia Atoy, PDP National Women Leader. Okay. We have another one from Chief Dan Obi, the National Vice Chairman South, who has returned the 28.8 million naira to the PDP account, claiming that he didn't know, what the money was for, but the money was paid to his account. Look, I want to read for those who may not be seeing this clearly. He said, "My attention has been drawn to the damaging trending story reported in the Nation newspaper by Yusuf Ali on September 26, 2022, titled Disquiet in PDP NWC cover, 10 billion, nomination fees, among several others. To my shock and surprise, it has been confirmed to me by my bank that the sum of 28.8 million naira was credited to my account by the party. I hereby notify you of my decision to pay that money back into the party's account. Kindly confirm the receipt of Zenith Bank manager's, check." So he is just realizing that a whopping sum of 28.8 million was paid into his account for nothing. So he's returning that money now. This money had been paid several months before now. But now they realize, say the money entered in account. There's another letter, a similar letter. This one is from Ambassador Tofik Arapaja, DNC South, National Treasurer, a copy National Treasurer. It's a return of 36 million naira. The way they share the money, this one. So, say, I observed a malicious story reported in the Nation newspaper on the 26th September 2022, where it was alleged that members of the National Working Committee were offered humongous amount of money to silence us over an allegation of financial misappropriation to the tune of 15 billion naira. This led me to browse through my various alerts, and I discovered a transfer of 36 million naira from the party. I have my reservation about the money transferred into my account, and for my personal reasons, wish to return it accordingly. Kindly confirm the receipt of UB electronic transfer of the 36 million naira attached here with yours faithfully, Ambassador Taufik Arapaja, DNC South. Oh my God. Nigerians. Now he just realized, upon reading the news on the 26th from the Nation over allegations of billions of naira in corruption. So he now went to check his alerts and found out that, oh, there's this 36 million naira from the PDP national, body into his account. Because he don't know how the money vanish enter in your account, he don't know what it lead to the money. He want to return the money now. Make I speak pidgin English. Oh my God. We have about 5 of them that don't return my letter. There'll be 4 or 5 of them. This another one. Similar tone, similar story. This one is returning 28.8 million. Let's say they share the money based on hierarchy. These 2 now return 28.8 million. The other one returned 36 million. In this Nigeria, with all of us suffering the way we have been suffering, with all of the economic issues facing this country, you see the scale of corruption. Now the question is, it is suspicious that they are just realizing this money may have been credited into their account since March or since April or since May. Surprisingly, they are just realizing that some money just vanished enter the account. As a matter of fact, I am really, really dazed by the one of what's his name, Tofik, when he say, having cross-checked my various alerts, he considers say there's a 36 million we enter my account from the national body. You see what these people are doing with Nigerians. They are not in power, mind you, not yet. They are hoping to be in power. Now, the only reason why we are knowing is because a matter of interest don't clash. Some troop belongs to the wicked camp. Some belongs to, what's his name, Atiku's camp. So there's very heated problem inside the PDP. And so they want, they want to stretch it to the wire. If they were at peace and united, probably more money would have entered in these accounts. We're not going to know. The way it has always been. That is why we cannot question why we don't have good roads. We cannot question why ASU is on strike. We cannot question why we don't have good hospitals. We cannot question why our own brothers and sisters and cousins and nephews are languishing at home, not going to school, and their own children are abroad, doing lots of things here and there. We cannot question any of those things. About 2 months ago, I went to, on a Friday night, I went to, one African club. I just said, let me break away a bit, just to go and, drink with a few friends of mine, and, dance around, burn some energy. And so, we ordered some drinks. We're a group of 4. And some guy came up to us. he saw the way we were chatting, and the guy sort of like knew we were Nigerians. He's a Nigerian. So he walked up to us, introduced himself as a Nigerian. I can't remember his name precisely, and that he just moved into my local government, and that he's a student. He just came in like 2 days ago, so he's trying to, know his way around and every other thing. And so we had a chat. He mentioned that he was from, I think it was from Kaduna State or so, and all that. And before we knew what was happening, he offered to pay for our drinks. You understand what I'm saying now? Before we know what was happening, he was asking for us to get more drinks. So we were just watching. And one of my close friends there, said that this one definitely could be one of these children of these politicians. One of these politicians. In the same vein, I happen to be a Nigerian community leader in my local government here. I know a number of Nigerian students who come from Nigeria, mostly nurses, who are finding it difficult. I am right there help many of them look for a place to stay, houses, and every other thing, and all of that. Some of them come very much in the red. As a matter of fact, a few days ago, I met one in the supermarket. I had to pay for the things he bought and every other thing. I could see that these ones are people who are really struggling, who probably just came and they are just managing, they are just living. But that particular young man displayed the character of one will be saying, man, this one don't even know what he suffer. Okay, all the money for this world. And I won't be surprised if that young man is one of these politicians' children. Now, that is not a peculiar story. That is what they do with these monies flying around, this 36 million from nowhere. How can you just say to Nigerians, make the letter public that you are returning 28 million that vanished into your account from the PDP council? I titled this broadcast, I said, October 1st is coming. It has to be a day, an Independence Day of anger, decision, and obedience. I am very angry with this. These are just small things where we say, we can't know now because there's commotion inside of the PDP. If there was no commotion, we will not know. Now, they are doing all of this right now to further try to expose the other camp, the IU camp, the Articles camp. The other day, River State Governor, Nyesom Wike, alleged that IU, was embroiled in some billions of naira corruption from Lagos, and that if he denies it, he will say more. Now, why Wike is doing this? In my last broadcast with my colleagues, the comrades and friends, I said I have no sympathy whatsoever for Wike, because Wike is only doing this as a display of what the Benin will call Banu Selu, because he did not get a nomination, and so therefore hell must be let loose. Wike is not protecting the interest of any Nigerian, but protecting his own interest, because it's part of this establishment that has been part of this problem of making Nigeria the way it is. Now, all of a sudden, we are knowing the truth. All the secrets taking place to defraud Nigerians, we are knowing. They are all coming out. I think that all of this nonsense should push us Nigerians to serious anger. To serious anger. And the kind of anger that will unite us to passively resist the establishment and put Nigeria in the hands of some other people that at least we can at least have some level of confidence in. Someone like Dino Lemelai has always made the case that Atiku is a unifier, is this, is that, is that. Right under his own political party, we have made the case very clear to say Dino Lemelai is a liar from the pit of hell. The display we are seeing from the Atiku camp is that Atiku cannot even unify his own family, talk less of unifying Nigerians. With this large-scale corruption playing out right now, okay, that we are seeing, apparently nobody in this whole world will try to exonerate Atiku from this arrangement of this kind of bribery. All these monies that they are returning right now, there are so many others that will not return their own because they are on the other side. Okay, where did this money come from? These are monies that probably were definitely they are monies to bribe these people to shut up. They have benefited from these billions of naira, and they're probably negotiating for more because I don't know. 28 million naira, 36 million naira will not just stroll from one bank to another. And you are telling us you don't know the purpose for which that money came into your account. You see liars who are taking Nigerians for a ride. This is not why I talk, say, at the verse, because the events happening in the political landscape are really, really annoying. You see a display of corruption with the PDP. And the only thing I want to say, for all those Nigerians who have been saying they are articulated, if you know what is nice, you love this country. I'm not saying don't love PDP or don't love APC or don't love this. You have to love Nigeria more. Love Nigeria first before all of these people. And if you truly love Nigeria first, then you will rise conscientiously to defend this country in the next elections, to vote for a candidate that at least we can have some confidence in, a candidate that will be accountable to the people of Nigeria, a candidate that we can call to question, a candidate that has no track record of corruption hanging on his neck. And that candidate is Peter Obi. You should be bold enough, like if Faluyi or Ogbede has come out to say, man, look, I'm a PDP member, I'm not living the PDP, but in this election, I'm voting Peter Obi. Like I've come out several to say, look, in the United Kingdom, I am a member of the Labour Party. But in last election, I voted for the Conservative because I believed that the Conservative would serve the needs of the people of the United Kingdom better. You should be proud and bold enough to say, I'm a member of APC, but in this election, I love Nigeria more. I am voting for Peter Gregory Obi. You should identify with the Obidience movement. And I've made the decision very clear that you identify with the Obidience movement does not make you a member of Labour Party. Obidience members are different from the Labour Party. Labour Party is Labour Party. Obedient members are a group of Nigerians who believe that their PVC is their revolution, and they are taking the matter head on, and that's why we could see the numerous rallies and movements in favor of Peter Gregory will be, and it should encourage all of us, that yesterday a poll that came out from Bloomberg UK suggested to Nigerians that the Obedience movement are in the lead. 73% of eligible voters as polled favor the presidency of Peter Gregory will be all across the nation. We must sound that very clear. As a matter of fact, with all of these anointings coming out, we must, as a matter of urgent national security, we must give resounding victory and support to Peter Obi, because these establishments, they are fake. The only thing that we know with APC and the PDP is corruption. And because of the level of corruption, a whole section is going to just go down the drain. Students have not been to school. And the multiplier effect of this, you cannot even imagine it. The other day, we announced that a lecturer died, a lecturer of the University of Benin died because of this strike, this strike. What is ASU asking for? What are they asking for that this country cannot provide, even if it's in installments? Just to, because they are asking for that, they have argued publicly, is to ensure that our educational infrastructure, they are in good place, they can compete favorably with others across the world. 1 trillion naira. What is in that? And yet we have a president of the APC who gave $1 million to Afghanistan. We have a president of the APC who has given a lot more of that to Niger Republic to serve the interests of Nigerians, while our own ASU is at home. In this same country, the vice president of this same country under APC spearheaded Abacha loot. They came up with an agenda of market women money and started saying they are giving money to market women. Only few women have been able to come out to testify to say they got some stipends from them. And we're talking of millions and trillions of naira coming to this country. And yet, they will allow ASU to suffer. ASU is the people's arrangement. ASU controls the establishment that takes our own ordinary people to school. Those ordinary people right now, they cannot go to university. Those who are already there cannot finish. If they come back down right now, they rush them into exams. At the end of the day, the product that will come out from there will be, in fact, not baked at all. And yet, we have a galaxy of other children who are writing WAEC and waiting, no space for them to go in, because those in year one, they have not even passed from year one. See, vacuum. And people are retiring from the civil service, expecting to be replaced. People are getting promoted, expecting others to fill their positions, and yet that vacuum is created. So when you count the multiplier effect, and as we speak, Nigerian nurses are queuing to run to Canada, to run to the UK, to run to wherever their services are needed, where people respect the civil service and respect workers to go and work and apply their trade there. And at the end of the day, all of that will amount to people having headache in Nigeria, not having medical professionals to take care of their needs, and they die. And who is responsible for all of this? The government of the APC today. And if we do not take the bull by the horns and do what we need to do today as a people, we will put this country in the hands of somebody like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who, by every indication today, is even worse than President Muhammadu Buhari. He's even more incapacitated than Muhammadu Buhari. It will be a case of Nigerians jumping from frying pan to fire. And if we make the mistake of saying it is PDP, Atiku Abubakar, now you see already what is happening within the PDP. Tell me, what proof do you have that what is happening right now will not be extended when they're in government? It will still be a case of Nigerians jumping from fire to fire. Look, I am here spending this time to elaborate on these things so that we have better understanding. It is not because I love Peter Obi more than I love Atiku Abubakar, more than I love, Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. No, I don't love. My love is not for any of these candidates. My love is for Nigeria. And anything that will make Nigeria thrive better, we have that extension of my love. That is the purest explanation I can give. I don't have any relationship whatsoever with Peter Gregory Obi. I don't. I am not chasing any relationship with him. But I have a strong relationship with Nigeria. A very strong relationship with Nigeria. Because this is a nation of my birth. It is the only one that I can claim. It does not matter how many nationalities I will hold or anybody will hold. At the end of the day, no matter how far and how long the urine travels, it must come back and end in the akara, in between the tie. The piece will go far, it will still come back. A child cannot play far away to forget where he's from. We are Nigerians. We have a duty to defend the home front. Earlier today, I told somebody, I said, the person was like, Blante, man, why you are too passionate about this? Why you? And I told the person, I said, look, truth has to be told. Look at the color of my skin. Everywhere I am, there is no way I can deny being a Nigerian. I am a Nigerian. And the economy of that country affects me overtly, covertly, directly, indirectly. And there is no place else I will call home apart from that country. So if that country is not good, do I really want to live in the UK and retire in the UK and stay in the UK? No. And if you ask most Nigerians in diaspora, people already, if they have a way now, they can carry their bags and come home. They want to come home. There are people who have retired. Some have tried to come home. Some even die in the process. Some run back because they could not sustain. Home could not sustain them. And so there is so much to fight for about this country. And that's why I'm here to appeal. I'm here to appeal because 2023 is very symbolic, not just to Nigerians, to the entire black race, to Africa. Africans are watching right now. They are very attentive. Nigeria has failed herself. Nigeria has equally failed the rest of Africa. While Africa has been waiting for Nigeria to provide leadership, Nigeria has failed woefully in that direction. And today we want a Nigeria that will be repositioned to provide leadership, not just for Nigeria, but for the whole of Africa. And amongst all of the contenders, the man who stands the best chance and whom we can verify loads of things about is Peter Gregory Obi. And mind you, I've had this discussion with somebody as well. Said, I don't believe Peter Obi is perfect. He's not. And I don't see Peter Obi as a messiah, as a matter of fact. I mean, this is a very hard fact. He's not a messiah, but nobody really is. But let me tell you what I say about Peter Obi. He's fit. He has a very good track record of being honest. And he has a very good track record too of being prudent when it comes to resources. Now, and he has a good track record too of not being a greedy person. Now, when these four things match, he's healthy. He's a young person compared to the rest of them. He's fit. And he has some of these other qualities. Then all of those boxes are ticked for me. And so what I expect Peter Obi to do is to come and steady the ship of Nigerian state, help to strengthen the Nigerian institutions and make them work better. Our police, our healthcare delivery, energy in this country, light matter and all those things. Reduce corruption, appropriately, as it were, and create a thriving environment for Nigerians to do their things and sustain the country. When those things are done, and of course, reposition the Nigerian polity, make the laws active, and work very hard to ensure that in the next elections, Nigerians in the diaspora, wherever they are, they will be able to vote and be part of those that will determine who becomes who in the country in various elections. When Peter Obi is able to do all of these things, which he has promised he would do, they will work very hard, provide security for the country, food security, military security, economic security, all of those kind of security apparatus, make them active and work for the Nigerian people, provide light, stable electricity for Nigerian people. It's already creating that environment. And of course, tap into the relevance of the Nigerians in diaspora. When all of these small things are done and our institutions are working very well, our policemen, they are encouraged. Look at the barracks of Nigerian policemen, people serving this nation. Look at where they live. Look at their take-home pay that cannot take them home. Look at how ill-equipped they are. And yet, trillions upon trillions of naira is being spent every day to keep these people afloat. At the end of the day, corruption because of weak institutions. When Obi does that, Nigeria will be ready. And that will create a culture where people will desire to serve Nigeria for the glory of service, not for what they will take home. And when that becomes the case, even after Peter Obi is long gone, Nigeria will then be positioned to provide proper leadership for the entire black race, particularly the African sub-region. Africa needs leadership. The whole world is failing. The whole world is shaking. We are very close to a third world war right now, based on what is happening in Ukraine and based on what is happening between Ukraine and Russia, based on what's happening between Russia and the Europeans and the Americans and every other thing. And many of us are looking and watching. If it make men, we want to run back home, because the safe haven of this world, when a third world war breaks, will be Africa. And if Nigeria is not a place we can run to, where else we would find ourselves? Nigeria must be repositioned. It is not Peter Obi's job alone, it's our job. And the job actually starts from us by ensuring that we elect Peter Obi to become president of Nigeria. And then stay with him to lead Nigeria right and to make Nigeria well positioned for other leaders to come in and continue on that trajectory so that Africa can begin to see the light. At the end of the day, even this abroad what they talk about, so potentially they are not they are not half as good as Africa. Potentially, look at Florida right now, the hurricane sweeping around the American states. Look at just over a year, 2 years ago, the world was immersed with COVID-19. It only ravaged the West, Europe, America, and Asia. Africa was a safe haven. Why? Because it is still in Africa we are able to live as human beings, close to nature. We are able to eat those organic things that enrich our body. We are exposed to the best this nature can give. And yet, we are the ones who are able to manage these resources. And that's what we want Peter Obi to come in. And for so many other reasons, we are unable to talk about. So Nigerian people, make it for not too much. I'll be here right now for quite a while. So I want to appeal on the very last note that October 1st is on Saturday. Loads of rallies are planned across the nation. Edo State is taking her own lead. Lagos State is prepared like a tsunami. Every state in Nigeria is involved in the Obidience movement. I want to appeal to you if you're out there. Speak to somebody tomorrow. You know, tomorrow, tomorrow, which is Friday, let them be prepared for Saturday. Let's come out and make a loud statement that Nigeria is entirely obedient. And that statement will speak to all of these people taking us for granted, that we are no longer ready for nonsense. But what we are seeing with these people is arrant nonsense. And Nigerians are no longer ready for it. Nigerian people, it's been a comrade show. My name is Comrade Lamtek Mahonso. I just say, make I come express my anger at the verse. But my verse is constructive. At the verse at the C road. My verse will ultimately push me to a decision. I have made my decision and I am obedient. He's been obedient, Comrade Lamtek Mahonso. God bless you. Please share the broadcast if you could. I will appreciate that. Thanks for your support. Have a good night. Bye for now.
Comrade Show, Comrade Lamtek Oriahi. This is the Comrade Show.